welcome to the CBG Show podcast for October the 24th. I'm Chris Bretlinger-Grant.
And I'm Amar Khan.
We at the show would like to start this episode by taking a moment to honor Corporal Nathan Cirillo, who was tragically killed in cold blood while watching over the National War Memorial in Ottawa early Thursday morning.
In turn, the Ottawa Senators and Toronto Maple Leafs game was cancelled as the nation's capital grieved for a fallen hero. A great amount of respect was shown by the Pittsburgh Penguins organization when they played the Canadian national anthem first. As proud Canadians, thank you to all the American organizations who showed respect to the corporal and his loved ones. It's a great feeling knowing that through sport we have the support of other nations.
Sports, though. After a day off yesterday, the Royals and Giants are back at it tonight in San Francisco for Game 3 of the World Series. The team split the last games played in KC earlier this week. Jeremy Guthrie will go up against Giants veteran Tim Hudson. Both pitchers will be making their World Series debuts. The game will get underway at 8:07 Eastern Time, as per usual. Remember, folks, we called Kansas City in 7. Last night, Peyton Manning led the Broncos to their 6th win of the season against the San Diego Chargers. Denver is now 2 games ahead of San Diego in the AFC West standings. After a surprising 5-1 start, the Chargers have abruptly fallen back to earth, having now lost twice over the last 5 days. Broncos offseason acquisition Emmanuel Sanders was perfect, registering 9 receptions on 9 targets, 3 of which he caught for touchdowns.
Antonio Gates had himself a game for the Chargers with 2 touchdowns of his own, but ultimately it wasn't enough to carry the team to victory. Next up for the Broncos, who I think are unequivocally looking like the toast of the league, and especially the AFC, is a date next Sunday when they travel to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. I know a lot of people who will be cheering for Peyton Manning in that one.
Your co-host especially. You know, here at the show we always root against the Patriots.
A couple of games to look forward to this weekend in the NFL. Chicago will visit Tom Brady and the New England Patriots in one of the early games Sunday. Chicago is coming off a disappointing loss to the Dolphins at home. After the game, yelling was heard coming from the Bears' locker room. This is certainly a team that is underachieving. Could it also be that they genuinely don't like each other? However, I'm picking the Bears to get the job done on Sunday in a virtual must-win to keep the morale in the locker room high. I'm predicting a 24-18 Bears victory.
The Sunday nighter this week has Aaron Rodgers and his Green Bay Packers travel down to the Louisiana Superdome to take on Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Everyone knows that the Saints are virtually impossible to beat it when they play in the friendly confines of their home stadium. I'm picking the Saints to win outright, but I think this one may end up closer than other people think. Moving to hockey action, one of the games we told you to watch this past week, which was that rematch from the 08 and 09 finals, was an exciting one. Every matchup between Pittsburgh and Detroit seems to end with some fireworks down the stretch. Wings defenseman Nicholas Kronwall blocked a Patrick Hornquist empty net goal with Detroit trailing by 1. He got the puck up to Henrik Zetterberg, who threw it in front to Pavel Datsyuk, who then dropped it back to Kronwall. He tied the game to send the fans at the Joe into a frenzy with under 1 minute remaining.
Moving to the extra frame because 60 minutes wasn't enough for us. A great forecheck by captain Henrik Zetterberg, who caused a turnover, led to the Justin Abdelkader OT winning goal. The Wings fought back to win this game after being down 3 goals at one point. Looks like this old dog found some new tricks.
Ryan Miller was key as the Canucks hammered the Blues 4-1. It seemed as though any time St. Louis tried to build up momentum with cycles and shots on net, Miller would come up big, save after save after save, giving his team a fighting chance.
With the game being tied at 1 going into the third, Vancouver got some much-needed secondary scoring as Nick Bonino scored his 2nd of the year and Lyndon Vay scored on the power play. Yannick Hansen also added an empty net goal for insurance. The Blues, who are a perennial cup contender, are now 2-3-1 and can't seem to take advantage of all of their depth. If St. Louis doesn't get to the Western Conference Finals, I think Ken Hitchcock's job will be on the line.
Other results included the New York Islanders going into the Boston Garden and defeating the Bruins 3-2. Former Bruin Chad Johnson came up huge for the Isles in key moments in net. Also, Bruins captain Zdeno Chara is probably out 4 to 6 weeks. He could require knee surgery. Thursday was an odd day in the league, and 3 shutouts occurred. The first was when the Minnesota Wild and Darcy Kemper beat the Arizona Coyotes 2-0.
Then Calgary handedly beat the Carolina Hurricanes 5-0 as Sean Money Hands Monahan scored twice. Carolina could only muster 16 shots on Jonas Hiller. Looks like Buffalo has some competition for last place. Those same Buffalo Sabres took on the LA Kings, who won 2-0. In the process, Jonathan Quick became the Kings' all-time leader in shutouts.
Basketball news. Canadian icon and our personal hero here at the CBG show, Steve Nash, is officially out for the year with nerve damage to his back. Nash, who has only played in 65 games over the past 2 seasons, has been sidelined for a majority of his tenure as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's wanting to focus on his long-term health rather than his immediate success.
Nash only ended up playing in 3 preseason games before re-aggravating his back injury. He's due more than $9 million this season, and his salary will still affect the cap if he decides not to play. Thus far, he hasn't hinted towards retirement. However, as the most successful NBA player out of Canada, an all-around great guy, we hope Steve Nash retires as he has nothing left individually to prove.
Sticking with basketball, Cleveland's newest star acquisition, Kevin Love, released an article about his summer, which he posted on Derek Jeter's Player Tribune. Love, who was traded for former first overall picks Andrew Wiggins and Anthony Bennett, wrote about the excruciating 30-day wait he had to endure before being officially traded to Cleveland. The wait happened because Andrew Wiggins could only be traded a full 30 days after signing his rookie contract. He also discusses how tough it must have been for Andrew Wiggins to sit through it on the other side. In his essay, he speaks about his love for Minnesota, no pun intended, and thanks fans for not burning his jersey, taking a not-so-subtle shot at Cavs fans even before he makes his regular season debut. From the CBG show, as always, I'm Chris Bretlinger Grant.
And I'm Amar Khan.
Tune in next time. We'll see you then.
Bye.